Digital entrepreneurs, represented by Roman Tolic and Emmanuel Carraud.
And there are a lot of entrepreneurs in Silicon Valley, and they're telling us, yes, Europe doesn't take the risk, there is no culture of failure, there are not conditions for entrepreneurs. And entrepreneurs are actually the founders, the inventors. They are the gladiators of tomorrow's economy, and they are creating next generation jobs. And we are entrepreneurs from Europe. I am from Austria. Emmanuel is from Cambridge, or he is French from Cambridge. And we found, together with 10 other entrepreneurs, we created this movement. Digital entrepreneurs can create not only jobs and social and economic growth, they can create a new identity of new entrepreneurial European identity. And this is actually our big idea.
We want to create digital economy for next generation of entrepreneurs. We want to create new jobs and new European identity. First is through European Talent Fund, because Europe doesn't believe in its own talent. We want to invest in digital startups across Europe. And it's public and private fundings, so it's not only public funding or just VC or business angel, but it's a mix of both in the common interest to really develop these ideas across Europe. And it's located here in Europe, but to spread all over the world, in Silicon Valley, in emerging markets. A lot of companies here in Europe lack the scalability, and from a great idea, it's really hard to scale up and to make the next Google or the next Facebook. The second thing is Digital Valley for Europe. We want to create not, of course, a Silicon Valley in one place here. It's more a cross-border network for all over Europe, because Europe is full of diversity and every country is full of talent. So we want to federate local and national initiatives. We've been amazed spending a couple of months in Silicon Valley that every country, every region in Europe were having its own local offices, pushing its own local interest. But there is a great opportunity for Europe to push bigger scale projects. And we really want to federate all these initiatives and to create this entrepreneur innovation village. And the third idea is new ecosystem for startups. We want to drive support from European leaders to really create something inspirational to inspire next generation. Young people, we want to start their companies to say it's possible. We want to create role models, entrepreneurs like us, like all the entrepreneurs we found in this non-profit project, this 12 entrepreneur project, is to create, to be a role model for European identities. And we want to create new conditions for startups to be able in 1 decade to create the new Google and Facebook here in Europe. Thank you.
My question is, do you only need entrepreneurs across Europe to help you do this, or who in the room should want to join in?
I think everyone could join, because of course it's entrepreneurs, so every new talent, but every stakeholder has a role to play. Like public bodies have a role to play, to encourage, to nurture these ideas. Private bodies have also a role to play, like big corporations in Europe can also nurture and help this ecosystem of startups. So in this initiative, everyone can play a role and suggest an idea and be an engine in this idea. But it's a bottom-up project. So we really started among entrepreneurs, so we're not professional organization. We all have our own startup full-time, so we do that on top of our daily job, just because we want to promote this idea. So every ideas initiative is welcome to join. Yeah.
If you allow me to say so, you are not only the digital angels, but you are my smiling digital angels. And I think, but that's quite serious, that it all starts with having fun. So it's not only a very tough job what you are doing, but it's also a fun job. Okay, concrete question. If you are me, the Commissioner for the Digital Agenda, what would you do?
I would invite us for a dinner.
Deal. Yeah. Next.
And then give us initial funding to... No, it's really... No, we don't want to talk about money now.
Okay, deal dinner made. So let's find. Let's find. But
the rest
but
of the money.
yeah. but think
the
no,
bad
but
guy.
yeah. No, I was offering my portfolio and you were not yet. So, let's be quite serious. Think over what the opportunities and the solutions could be, and not only talking about money. And I know that money is important, but if that is the only issue, but I fear that there are a couple of other issues too. So be precise and let's make that appointment.
David Osman from Tech4i2. I think this points to a bigger problem, and it is, can we go on with the current funding system for innovation, not only in Europe, but across all member states? And I think the problem is that there is a big gap between how innovation happens on the web and the current funding system for innovation. So I think this points to a need to design more flexible, more open-ended policy and funding tools for innovation. We have proposed an idea which was not voted for an award for application, but the idea is to find more open-ended, more creative tools that allow for creativity and serendipitous innovation. And it is quite clear that the current tools, not only European, but throughout Europe, for funding innovation are not conducive to creativity and serendipitous. I'm thinking about FP7 to be very explicit. Thank you.
Thank you. So the gentleman on the left at the bottom.
I would like to speak about, as an entrepreneur myself and who's participating in different projects funded by the European Commission. And I think that when Commissioner, you spoke about something concrete to do with these guys, I think that most projects, unfortunately, have the exploitation dimension of them is very thin in the funding. And it could be very interesting to have a kind of a European talent fund, or in order to strengthen that part of exploitation, with always, I mean, it's present, but it's more aesthetic in the project itself. And unfortunately, a lot of good ideas are dying out after the time of the funding, because there's no real thought about the exploitation and no real perspective for the consortium to develop further their idea and to go to market. So it could be interesting to have a kind of European talent fund or digital fund that help to exploit the good ideas on those projects, which will make an excellent return on investment from the Commission as well, beyond the funding scheme that they are proposing.
Thank you. And the last comment there.
I'm with the first guy who spoke. My suggestion is to leave from 20 to 40% of bid spending for unexpected innovations, instead of expecting that you know what innovations are expected.
Yeah, I think actually what's interesting about those three comments is that they align rather closely with what we're proposing from the ICT perspective within FP8. And I also think, though, that Neelie and her colleagues are already now looking at simplification for now, but definitely these are the sorts of ideas that we are trying to develop.
Yeah, thank you for the comments. It's sharing a lot of ideas we have. It's true, the model of financing innovation today is broken, in a sense like traditional way to finance innovation is usually long process, like a VC model require a big budget, and usually a lot of innovation is changing really fast today. So in digital economy, it's not necessary a long project over 10 years, something like that. It's starting really fast in a lot of innovative projects, and after fund them just to nurture and to develop, to have capacity to develop further successful project. So it's different stages in the financing project. So it's not only seed fund, A round fund, B fund. So You have to be really flexible to the new challenges of today.